Hey, boss ladies. I'm about to put you up on game. You ready? All right, cool. Okay, so I know we can't avoid the conversation anymore, so let's just talk about it. A lot of us are contemplating going back into a relaxer, and before you do that, I really want you to consider a couple of things, or think about a couple of things, right? If you are a natural now that has a sensitive scalp, if you move into the relaxer realm, it's likely not going to get much better for you, right? Even those relaxers that are made for sensitive scalps still tend to make the scalp more tender. So think about that before you move into deciding to actually commit to going back to a relaxer, right? The other thing that I think is really important when we're thinking about going back into relaxers is if you suffer from psoriasis, dermatitis, dandruff issues or challenges, then you are also not likely a good candidate for going back to a relaxer. Your body's defense is always in motion, right? Your body is always ready to defend you. And so in defense to a chemical burn, right, what's going to happen is your body is going to overcompensate, overproduce skin cells, turn those skin cells over more rapidly, overproduce the sebum to create a lubricant or some kind of oil, right, to help in defense of the chemical burn. And so when you mix that when you have that issue or challenge, on top of already your body naturally overproducing oil, your body naturally turning over your skin cells rapidly, that's a recipe for disaster, right? Again, it doesn't make you a good candidate for a relaxer. The last thing that I really want you to think about, especially while you're watching this, if you find it hard to find a good stylist doing your natural hair, imagine how much more difficult or challenging it's going to be to find a stylist to do your hair that does really well with relaxers. If I were contemplating going back to relaxer, literally I would be thinking and my challenge was finding a good stylist. I would be thinking I would rather run the risk of sitting with a stylist to do my natural hair using no chemicals than to run the risk of sitting with a stylist who is not good, not great, right? And putting this chemical on my scalp. If you are going to go back to a relaxer, do your due diligence and really search for a stylist that's really great. And when you find him or her, make sure you lock in your appointment for future appointments, right? Make sure you solidify your seat for future appointments, because otherwise you could be back in a whirlwind of trouble searching for a good stylist to service this chemical service, right? So think about that, long and hard. I get it. I get that it's not easy. I get that it's hard. But choose your hard, boss. Okay?